In January of 2025, I woke up to a simple red left eye. And then a few months after that, I almost went blind in it. 15 doctors and specialists, ER visits, even an eye biopsy that mysteriously got blocked. And still, no doctor knew what was wrong with me. And then a few months after that, my body started to shut down. My organs started to shut down, and I still had no answers. Today, I start my parasite recovery journey because the next information that I find out changes my life for the rest of my life. For those who do not know who I am, my name is Sunny. I survived getting hit head on by an 18-wheeler in 2012, and for the past few years, I've been experiencing some very weird and strange symptoms that once again I say, no doctor knew what was wrong with me. And then in 2025, that's unfortunately when everything exploded. What I thought I was waking up to was just a red eye, was the start of a medical journey that I thought I would never be on. So the eye symptoms that I was experiencing with my left eye was the redness in like the corner of the center of my eye and light sensitivity. So then I went to my first ophthalmologist and he prescribed me inflammation drops or steroid drops. And I started taking those just as directed. And about a week or two after that, I went back to the same doctor and I told him, like, I'm not getting a good reaction with these steroid drops. Like, my whole left side of my face was hurting. Even my ear was hurting. It felt like I was having like an ear infection. And my eyes seemed like it was just getting worse. And honestly, it felt like he really wasn't listening to me. But he just told me, he was like, okay, just stop the drops. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I stopped the drops. A couple days after that, I was leaving work and it was very bright outside. And the light sensitivity was horrible, the headache, boom, the pain, boom, and I was like, it was worse. And then I noticed after I looked in the mirror, I was starting to get a cold sore develop on my lip. So then at that time, I was seeing another ophthalmologist, and at my third visit with her, she was like, "I am so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with you, and I keep trying to figure it out, and you're getting worse. The redness is no longer in your eye, it's going all around your eye. Your eye is puffy, around your eye is puffy, and I just don't know what to do next. I think you need to go to Will's Eye in Philly." And she's like, "I think you need to go to the emergency room." So I was like, okay, fine. So my mom drove me to the emergency room in Philly at Will's Eye, and I was seen by a doctor there. The doctor looked at my eye and he saw a lesion on my cornea. And after that, he asked me, "Have you had a cold sore recently?" And I'm like, "Yes." I thought he was being smart. I'm like, "Yes, I have one right on my lip." And after that, he was like, "Okay, fine, I know what to do." And he prescribed me valseclavir, which is a cold sore medication. And after that, I still had no answers. At this point, it wasn't even just the pain I was worried about. It was I was getting really scared. I mean, every doctor that I went to, I was getting worse and worse. And then I heard multiple times, "We don't know what's wrong with you. We tried everything that we could do and we don't know what's wrong with you." And then they just kept giving me drops and giving me medicine. And I had so much stuff that I was putting in my eye and nobody knew what was wrong with me. And at this point, I almost lost my vision in my left eye permanently a couple of times. The doctor is telling me, "You might need surgery. You might need a tube in your eye." And I'm like, how did this just happen so quickly? Like, and nobody knows what's wrong with me. Are you kidding me? I'm seeing the top doctors in the area and nobody has an answer for this. So now let's talk about this biopsy that was supposed to go down. All right, so I'm at Will's Eye seeing the top uveitis specialist there, and he was like, "Nobody knows what's going on with you. We don't know how to treat you, so we need to do a biopsy. Take fluid out of your left eye and send it to pathology to see what the disease or what the virus is so we can properly treat you, because at this point you're just taking a whole bunch of stuff." And I'm like, "I know." So I'm like, "All right, fine, whatever, let's do it." So he was like, "Okay, the next time you come back for the biopsy, you have to have severe inflammation in your eye because I have to go ahead and I have to take it out and send it to pathology." So I had to go ahead and reduce and stop my inflammation or the steroid drops. So I said, okay. So I did that. The day before, I just wanted to confirm that I did have, in fact, inflammation in my eye. So I went to the ophthalmologist, the new ophthalmologist that I was seeing, and he confirmed it. You do have inflammation in your eye. And I'm like, all right, perfect. So the next day, I went back to Will's eye and I saw the specialist. They prepped me for the biopsy. I had stickers all over my face. And he came in and he checked my eye and he was like, you don't have any inflammation in your eye, but you do have something wrong with your cornea. And I'm like, I look at my mom and I'm like, whatever. And he was like, I'm sorry, we can't do the biopsy because there's no inflammation. And I'm like, I just saw my ophthalmologist yesterday and he said, I do have inflammation. He said, I had a whole bunch of inflammation. So now I don't have inflammation and then something's wrong with my cornea. Anyways, so I left. And then 2 days later, my mom takes me to another eye hospital in Philly, the Shea Institute. And I saw two doctors, one of them being a corneal specialist. Let me tell you what they say. So both of them said, you do have inflammation in your eye and nothing is wrong with your cornea. The corneal specialist looked at me and he was like, your cornea is beautiful. And I'm like, are you like, am I going crazy right now? Like, is this really happening? Like, nobody, like, are we really? Yes. This is what I was getting from hospitals, emergency rooms, top doctors in the area. This is what the answers that I was getting. So on the way home from the Shea Institute, my mom had a video that she wanted us to listen to. It was about a doctor. His name is Dr. Makis, and he is out of Canada. And Dr. Makis has been studying the connection between parasites and cancer. And he made one comment. He said, most of the time, parasites cause inflammation in the human body. Right when he said that, me and my mom looked at each other with our mouths open in amazement because that's the exact issue that I've been having in my left eye, inflammation, to the point where all these doctors are trying to decrease me and taper me off of this inflammation drops, or also known as the steroid drops. And every time they tried to decrease me, my eye would flare up. I mean, to the point where I almost went blind. And they didn't know what to do. So Dr. Makis said ivermectin. It's a parasite dewormer. And so my mom had some at home. So I was like, bet, perfect. So right when we got home, I started taking little doses of the ivermectin. And let me tell you, a couple days later, I went to the ophthalmologist and she checked my eye. I had no inflammation in my eye. So a week later after that, I went back to the ophthalmologist again. I still had no inflammation in my eye. Still to this day, months later, I have no inflammation in my eye. Still, it's great. Inflammation is gone and it's not coming back. But the thing is, a couple months after that, I was experiencing major issues once again. My body started to shut down. My mom was taking me back to the emergency room, back to the hospital, testing, MRIs, CAT scans, blood tests. I mean, everything. I was spending the night in the hospital and no answers. They told me, this is what they told me. You have a yeast infection, you have a UTI, and you're very anemic. And I'm like, this doesn't connect properly with what I'm feeling with my body shutting down. Like, I couldn't even make simple conversations anymore. My head was not okay. I couldn't listen properly. I couldn't communicate properly. I couldn't think properly. And this is all what you're going to tell me is that I have a yeast infection, a UTI, and I have anemia? That moment when I learned what parasites can do to the human body changed everything for me. The symptoms that I thought were normal were not normal at all. So in the next episode, I'm going to share the symptoms that I've had for years that I didn't realize were signs of something so much more bigger. This is the part that shocked me the most, and it might shock you too. So you guys, make sure you subscribe because the next video is where the truth really starts unfolding.